What's the most you ever lost in a coin toss?
No Country for Old Men. Released in 2007 and is directed by the Coen brothers, who are also behind such films like Barton Fink, Fargo, The Big Lebowski, and the remake of True Grit. And this film stars Tommy Lee Jones, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Woody Harrelson, and Kelly MacDonald. And this film was a recommendation from one of my subscribers, Dan Hensley. Thank you very much, Dan. I forgot just how magnificent this film was. Good old Texas hunter Moss is out hunting pronghorns in the desert, and he stumbles upon the aftermath of a drug deal gone bad. And he finds a case full of $2 million and decides to take it for himself. But the drug cartels want their money back, you see? So they hire this strange and eccentric bounty hunter goes by the name of Anton. And it's a 2-hour cat and mouse game between these two, with Tommy Lee Jones following far behind. And this film, wow. This is fantastic. The winner of Best Picture in 2007, and absolutely deserving of it. It was very stiff competition that year with There Will Be Blood, films like Juno, but this one is... I could not take my eyes off the screen. And really for one reason, and that is the musical score. There is none. At least not in what I can remember. I do not remember music ever being played throughout this film. Unless someone was playing music like on a radio in a car or in a room somewhere, there is no music here. And it never occurred to me just how much tension is built when there is no music. Yes, of course, you can have a musical score that invokes tension and invokes feelings and emotion, but when you strip that away and you're in a situation like this, where there's a creepy guy coming after you with this air gun that can blow a hole straight through your head, and just hearing the sounds of footsteps and breathing and gunshots, it gets your heart just pumping, and I love it. What a choice by the directors. I would never be brave enough to do that, but I just love the atmosphere that it created. It gave me a sense of naturalism where I'm being just immersed into this culture, into this story, and I don't think that it's entertainment. I feel like this is a documentary and I'm just being sucked into it. But the lack of a musical score and accompanied with 3 just fantastic performances. In particular, the best performance has to go to Javier Bardem. Anton Chigurh, one of the creepiest antagonist villains that you will ever see on screen. He is an enigma. What is with this guy? We don't know, and we never find out. He's some kind of bounty hunter where he just goes from mission to mission, killing to killing, and if you recognize him or if you take notice of him, either you die or... yeah, you're just gonna die. Because that's the structure, that's the rules that he follows by. Don't get caught and don't be recognized. And if those rules are broken, then he has to kill you. Or at least that's the dilemma that goes on in his head. Probably the best scene of this film is the gas station scene. He's eating a bag of peanuts and the gas attendant noticed that his license plate said he's from Arkansas or something like that, somewhere out of state. And you see the switch go off in Anton's head of going, oh great, now he's taken a notice of me, I have to kill him. But he's a nobody. He comes from nothing. He married into this run-down gas station. So he does the whole Harvey Dent Two-Face thing and he flips a coin, has the dude call it. I love it. And that scene is also where we really understand just this guy's disdain for human life, or at least people not living up to their potential. When the gas station attendant says, oh yeah, I married into this, the disgust on Anton's face. Oh my God, you married into it. Or when he comes into the trailer park office and he sees that overweight secretary sitting behind the desk, just the look of disgust on his face. What an insane yet remarkable villain. And then we have Josh Brolin, who is the guy who finds the $2 million, goes on the run. I think this is really where he started turning his career around. At least to my knowledge, I really don't remember him in anything like super big, or at least working consistently since this movie. Yes, of course, he was in the 80s classic The Goonies. But ever since this film, he's just gotten gig after gig after gig. Like major ones too, like Thanos or Cable with Deadpool. he's doing quite well for himself. And I love his performance. It's natural. Not a lot of dialogue, just a lot of physicality and facial expressions. I love watching his performance. And then Tommy Lee Jones, who is the heart of this film. He's the old sheriff just days away from retirement. He's getting too old for this shit. And in every scene that he is in, you just hear him just talk about this world that he lives in now, this new generation of crime and evil that he has to see reading the newspaper at any crime scene, and he's just tired of it. Well, he's tired, and he just doesn't understand it. He would tell stories throughout the film of old criminals that he would arrest or arraign back in the day. He says it was a simpler time. It was a time where he understood the criminal mind and why things happened. But now seeing villains run around like Anton Chigurh, and it boggles him, and he feels like this world is just passing him by. Sometimes it gets a little too on the nose. In every scene, he has something like this. I don't understand this world. This country just ain't for old men anymore. So at times I was like, dude, we get it. You said that before. If I was his wife and he just retired, I'd be like, shit, now I gotta listen to this guy for the rest of my life. But it is a natural feeling that everyone is going to experience when you get up in age, you know, to the 70s, to your 80s, to your 90s. Technologies are becoming more advanced. More and more crime is happening, and crimes that just don't make sense to you. It's something that I think all of us go through, or at least will go through when we get to that age. So I absolutely adore this movie. The performances are magnificent. The lack of musical score just builds up the tension. The atmosphere of this film, too, I just love hearing the sound effects of the stomping on the dirt, the shooting of the guns. I love the lack of sound, and then when we get sound, it throws you for a loop. And this is a modern day Western. If this film would have come out 50, 60 years ago, it would have done very well just the same. Because just like how the superhero film is the big thing going right now, the Western was the huge thing that was happening many, many years ago. So I like seeing that genre revisited in modern day sense. I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns, at least like modern day ones that still put it back in the 18 and 1700s. But films like No Country for Old Men, Hell or High Water, I love these films. And it feels, again, just like a slice of life, because the climax of this film, there really is no climax. The film goes along and really just ends, which I think on first viewing I did not like so much. The ending just killed it for me. But seeing it again, this time around, I really appreciate the ambiguous ending and the lack of a climactic battle. It just represented life a little bit more, which is kind of what Tommy Lee Jones's character is trying to get at throughout this entire film. I've worked as a sheriff for 50, 60 years. And what was the point? It's a question we all ask ourselves. I did this for so many years. I lived, I married this person, I had these kids. And what was all of it for? Some people can easily answer that. Some people, like Tommy Lee Jones's character, can't answer that. So I appreciate the exploration of that question. So guys, if you haven't seen No Country for Old Men, or you haven't watched it in a very long time, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's a slow burn, but like I said, it builds up the tension, and I was 100% engaged the entire time, and I think the majority of people watching this film will also be. I'm gonna give No Country for Old Men 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
All right, let's get it.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos, where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next. Let's take a look. Okay. Wrath of the Titans, the film that made Sam Worthington the big star that he is. No, this was the sequel to the remake of Clash of the Titans. And I honestly, I know I've seen this movie before. I remember falling asleep in it, and I do not remember if I ever finished it. And trying to remember what I saw beforehand, I could not remember a single thing. I remember Sam Worthington grew his hair out a little bit longer. That's it. I think Poseidon's son is in here, and then also Rosamund Pike. I remember her. She is a recasting of, is it Andromeda? Maybe? One of the Greek princesses of that time. She was recast. And I don't know why. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Wrath of the Titans. Who knows, though? Maybe I'll watch it this time and go, hey, you know, that was a pretty solid action flick. Probably not. So everyone, have you seen No Country for Old Men? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. And once again, this film was a recommendation from one of my subscribers. So thank you very much, Dan Hensley. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to watch on here, please comment below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Please leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a shout out here on my channel because I really appreciate my subscribers. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Wrath of the Titans. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.